Now at 5, how the city of Pittsburgh is dealing with an increase in the homeless population. Plus, why there's an unusually high number of birds in the Joplin area right now. And the leader of the Proud Boys awaits his sentence stemming from charges related to the January 6th attack on the Capitol.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
City of Pittsburgh's experienced an increase in the number of people living on the streets. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. 2 years after the federal pandemic aid for Americans ended, homelessness in cities and states all across the U.S. is on the rise. Unfortunately, the 4 states is no different. According to data from the National Alliance to End Homelessness, more than 420,000 people who were homeless in America last year. Pittsburgh currently has 100 reported homeless people, with another 200 throughout Crawford County. Whether it's financial woes, drugs, or mental health issues, Pittsburgh city leaders say discussions are underway to curb the growing problem.
You drive around the state, you drive around the country, like I've done a lot this summer of, and it's, we're fortunate to be the size we are, and I think we can get our hands around this problem for sure.
Darren Hall says the city is looking at outreach as a short-term goal. He says the municipal court now has a mental health worker at the court so they can reach out to people who've just gone through the system. If you're driving by East 20th Street and Rangeline Road in Joplin a little after 7 p.m., something different might catch your attention these days. Thousands of birds flying around and lining up on the electric lines. While it might look abnormal, even scary for some, according to specialists, this is actually common. These birds are European starlings. Because this is the end of their breeding season, their population might be bigger than normal. Bird experts say a possible reason they're lining up in that area at that specific time of day is the food availability.
I've never seen so many birds around here at the same time. They were all on the electric lines and they were flying everywhere, and we drive like about 5 or 6 blocks and they were literally everywhere.
And at night they do something really interesting, which is called murmuration. So you see these very large groups and it seems like they're kind of moving together. It's thought that that's to avoid predators.
Originally from Europe, these birds are now all over the U.S. They are resident birds, which means they stay here year-round. It's not just birds showing up in Joplin. Missouri Southern today hosted a petting zoo with a variety of furry and scaled creatures. Students and staff were able to get up close with animals, including a wallaby, a kangaroo, an ostrich, a bearded dragon, a llama, and goats. Officials say it serves as a bit of stress relief as the new school year gets underway.
Just to keep the students engaged, having fun on campus, giving them unique experiences that they may not get to have anywhere else. So today we've brought a zoo along just for them to come in between classes, and there's some baby wallabies and baby kangaroos, which I seem to be the most popular.
That petting zoo is set up on the MSSU campus oval. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Well, we actually have a cold front that is going to be rolling in as we go through the evening hours, and that's going to fire off some showers and thunderstorms across the region over the next couple hours. So we do have a level 2 out of 5 threat, severe threat, mainly along and south of the I-44 corridor as we go through the evening hours. So really now until about 9 p.m. tornado threat I'm going to keep low, but the hail and the wind threat, that's what we're going to have to watch as we go through the evening hours. As of right now, you can see that front. Look at this little line of cumulus clouds popping up southeastern Kansas. So that's where those showers and thunderstorms will start to get going as we go through the next few hours. Temperatures hot. Look at this, near 100 degrees out along that front. As we go through the evening hours, we'll slide back through the 90s, those scattered thunderstorms. We'll talk more about that and what is to come here in just a bit.
Catch you in a few. Enrique Tarrio, the leader of the Proud Boys, is in federal court for sentencing after being convicted of seditious conspiracy. Tarrio was not on Capitol Hill on January 6th, but the jury agreed with the government, which said he helped plan that assault. Reporter Skylar Henry has more details now from Washington, D.C.
Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio is in federal court today to learn how much prison time he'll face for his role in the January 6, 2021 assault on the U.S. Capitol. Tarrio was not in the Capitol that day because he'd been ordered out after setting fire to a Black Lives Matter banner days earlier. Instead, prosecutors say he planned the assault and issued orders from a hotel outside the capital city. They're seeking a 33-year prison sentence.
The jury convicted him and 3 of his top lieutenants in that plot to essentially overthrow the government. So whether or not he was actually there or not is really not relevant.
Judge Timothy Kelly has been more lenient than what the government sought in 3 other Proud Boys seditious conspiracy convictions. Ethan Nordine received an 18-year sentence last Friday. Joseph Biggs received a 17-year sentence, even though the government asked for 33 years. And Zachary Rell got a 15-year sentence. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Washington.
And an update now, Tario has just been sentenced to 22 years in prison. Another Proud Boy member, Christopher Worrell, escaped from house arrest and is on the run. The FBI is asking the public for help in finding Worrell. A historic impeachment trial is now underway in Austin, Texas, involving that state's Attorney General and Donald Trump ally Ken Paxton. The influential Texas Republican faces 16 articles of impeachment related to allegations of bribery, dereliction of duty, and disregard of official duty following a vote in the GOP-controlled House in May. On the first day of the trial, the first witness in that case was sworn in, and attorneys on both sides presented opening arguments. Still ahead, a new treatment for overuse.
Marijuana is the most commonly used drug in the country. I'm Cristian Benavides with a treatment that could help cannabis-dependent people kick the habit.
And later, why school districts across the country are tuning up their old school buses for new electric models. Topping today's Health Watch, First Lady Jill Biden has tested positive for COVID-19. The White House says she's experiencing only mild symptoms and is staying at the family's vacation home. President Biden has tested negative. The First Lady's diagnosis comes as coronavirus cases are spiking in the U.S. The CDC says COVID hospitalizations were up almost 19% in 1 week last month. While many studies have focused on the potential medicinal benefits of marijuana, new research looks at a drug that curbs marijuana use for those who have become dependent on it. Cristian Benavides reports.
27-year-old Roosevelt Bennett says he struggled to get tasks accomplished after becoming dependent on marijuana. He says he used the drug since he was 17.
I would smoke more often, and also I wouldn't get as much things done.
So when he learned about a drug trial to treat the overuse of marijuana, he took a chance.
The higher my tolerance got, the more I just continued to smoke.
With the growing advent of legalization of marijuana, there is this thought that people can't be addicted to marijuana.
Dr. Rishi Kakkar is Chief Scientific Officer and Medical Director for Segal Trials, which is conducting the study.
It affects their function, it affects their work, it affects their learning, it affects their relationships.
Estimates show about 60 million people had cannabis use disorder in 2021, and the risk of developing dependence is higher for people who started using marijuana during adolescence. The CDC warns marijuana use could negatively impact the health of your brain, heart, and lungs. In the case of Bennett, who is a content creator, he says his productivity suffered. But after participating in the study, for which he was paid $2,000, he says he saw a marked improvement. Bennett doesn't know if he actually received the drug or a placebo, but he thinks he did.
I wasn't smoking as much. I noticed that I was getting more things accomplished, especially like I finish my website and I create more.
Bennett admits he still occasionally smokes, but not nearly as much as before, and hopes sharing his story can help others. Cristian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
There is currently no approved pharmacological treatments for people who have cannabis use disorder. This drug would be the first. A new study at Harvard University finds atypical antipsychotics are not less harmful than the more commonly used haloperidol for older patients recovering from major surgery. Researchers looked at 17,000 seniors who were prescribed antipsychotic medication for post-operative delirium. They found no significant difference in the risk for in-hospital death or for non-fatal clinical events such as pneumonia and stroke. At least 1 in 5 commonly prescribed generic medications are cheaper with pharmacy discount card programs like Amazon Prime and GoodRx Gold. A study published in the Annals of Internal Medicine looked at 20 medications and found out-of-pocket payments were up to 43% higher. Researchers say vulnerable groups like the uninsured are more likely to have payments that exceed the discount prices. And silencing 2 genes might help patients with head and neck cancers respond to chemotherapy. Scientists from Queen Mary University of London found resistant cells became 30 times more sensitive to a drug called cisplatin. They say the findings could potentially extend to other cancers with elevated levels of the genes. That is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, Goldman Sachs gives its latest prediction on whether the U.S. is headed toward a recession.
Plus, thunderstorms will get going this evening. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it turned out to be another super hot day outside. Temperatures upper 90s to near 100 degrees, heat indices up there. But we do have a cold front that is shifting in. And with that front, we're going to get some scattered, and they are going to be scattered, but scattered showers and thunderstorms working in as we go through the evening hours. Here's a nice shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. You can see our severe threat across the region. So level 2 out of 5, mainly Nevada, Pittsburgh to Chautauqua points south as we go through the evening hours. Main threat here is going to be gusty winds and large hail now until about 9 or 10 p.m. in our southern counties. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch out until midnight. Oklahoma, northwestern Arkansas. We'll see if anything pops up in southwest Missouri as we go through the evening hours. But you can see this little line of cumulus clouds. That's our cold front already right along the front. And you can see one little thunderstorm trying to get going. This is in Allen County, so just south of Chanute. So we're going to see these starting to pop up and then press south and east. Now, if you live northwest of this line, you will not see any thunderstorms as we go through the evening. All right, let's go through time. We're going to stop at 7 p.m. Showers, thunderstorms extending from Stockton Lake, Nevada, Lamar, through Cherokee County, all the way back through northeastern Oklahoma. These plow south and east. Here's at 8:30 p.m., mainly along and south of the I-44 corridor. And again, some of these could be strong to low-grade severe. Main threat, gusty winds and large hail. Let's continue to about 10 p.m. Thunderstorms still going on from about Beaver Lake over toward Table Rock Lake and Branson, but most of us drying out. And then by midnight, most of these are gone and the humidity is going to drop a little bit as we go into the daytime hours tomorrow. It's hot out there right now. We have upper 90s to triple digits out across southeastern Kansas, right along that front. Looks pretty good, 7th and range line. It's just hot, 97. It feels like 104 degrees. It is a little bit windy. We have those southerly winds, but look how the winds are starting to switch to the northwest in our northwestern counties, and that is showing us that front moving through. But here's that upper level wave. It's going to sink through. It will bring us a little bit cooler air in by the time we head into the next couple days, which is good. Let's go into the noon hour tomorrow, upper 70s, and then the afternoon, high temps, only about 85 or 86. So it's going to be like 12 or 13 degrees cooler tomorrow compared to what we are seeing today. We drop near 60 tomorrow night, and then Thursday, a little bit hotter. We heat up near 90 degrees, and then chances for showers and thunderstorms back in Thursday night into Friday morning. Of course, we need the rain. All right, day planner for you tomorrow. 65 at 7, 77 by noon, 84 by 4. High temp right around 86 degrees. We'll go back to 92 on Thursday. Thunderstorms Thursday night into Friday morning. If you're heading up to Arrowhead Thursday night, kickoff, temperatures into the mid 80s. So it will be on the warm side. Near 90 over the weekend, but look at this, Dow. Another cold front rolls in early next week. We're looking at a high of 80 next Tuesday. Whoa. A good stretch of 80s next week.
Wow, a high of 80.
Not bad.
No, that sounds pretty pleasant. Thanks, Douglas. Hey, don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone. Doesn't cost a thing. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Again, it's the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Coming up, school districts nationwide are going green by switching to electric school buses. Topping today's Consumer Watch, Goldman Sachs says it's optimistic the U.S. will avoid a recession in the next 12 months. Its new report called Soft Landing Summer puts the odds of such retraction at 15%. That's similar to the historical average for any given year. The report suggests wages will grow faster than prices, overcoming rate increase from the Federal Reserve. Goldman is largely on its own with its rosy outlook. The Bloomberg consensus is the U.S. has a 60% chance of a recession. Americans have traveled in record numbers over the summer. The TSA reports it screened more than 227 million times since Memorial Day, and that's just those who walk through the airports. But even though it's still hot and the leaves haven't started to change color yet, experts say it might already be time to book your next big trip. Thousands of school buses nationwide are getting overhauled with new electric models. Top manufacturers are looking to address environmental and noise concerns. Reporter Skylar Henry shows us how districts are flipping the switch to go green.
Good morning. Charles Washington's part-time retirement job, driving a school bus, has changed in the 5 years since he's hopped in the driver's seat.
You guys remember, on the electric bus, you have to use your quiet voice.
When you first turn the vehicle on, you don't even know that it's on.
A study found diesel-fueled buses were some of the biggest carbon emissions culprits in Falls Church, Virginia, just outside of Washington, D.C. It's why the school system made a move to get e-buses on the road. Districts nationwide are doing the same. The World Resource Institute says as of December 2022, more than 5,600 school buses have been awarded, ordered, delivered, or are operating in the U.S. The push for more e-buses is keeping top manufacturers busy, including the Bluebird Corporation.
Boston is a great example where we have a fantastic partnership. They've got around 1,200 school buses on the road today, all Bluebird, and they're planning to electrify fully, but they're rolling it out in stages.
Company president Britton Smith says Bluebird has more than 1,000 e-buses on the road, which can travel up to 130 miles on a single charge. And while their goal isn't turning the entire fleet electric, with some districts preferring an EPA clean energy propane-fueled option, addressing environmental concerns is a top priority. Like many automakers, bus manufacturers say meeting the demand will take time.
Have a good day. Okay.
Washington, who volunteered to drive an e-school bus first, says it's well worth the wait. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Falls Church, Virginia.
Bus manufacturers say they're also working to expand a recharging network to help support electric school buses on the road. They say, though e-buses account for less than 5% of active school buses, low operating costs help make the case to develop more in the future. Nearly 250,000 banquet frozen chicken strips meals have been recalled because they could contain pieces of plastic. The USDA's Food Safety and Inspection Service has received a complaint from one person claiming an oral injury after eating a chicken strip that had plastic in it. The potentially contaminated products have best if used by dates of December 11th, 2024, January 1st, 2025, or January 7th, 2025. A final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, some schools across the country are forced to cancel classes during the intense heat because they don't have AC. Then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to learn about a Facebook group created to track the increase in Pittsburgh's homeless population. Plus, Watered Gardens in Joplin unveils new renovations and expansions to the Washington Family Hope Center, and how Pitt State and Missouri Southern are preparing for their Week 2 matchups. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. We all need some rain. Some of us at least are getting some or will get some.
Yeah, we got some thunderstorms starting to pop up right now. You can see one little guy right across Allen County, another one in Montgomery County. So these are really going to get going over the next several hours and then start to push off toward the south and to the east as we go through the rest of the evening hours. A little bit cooler tomorrow. Look at this. High temp, only 86.
Sounds good. See you right back here at 6. Let's make it a great evening.